I asked Mr. Barr directly, do you think Mr. Mueller's on a witch hunt? He said no. Do you think he would be fair to the president and the country as a whole? He said yes. And do you see any reason for Mr. Mueller's investigation to be stopped? He said no.
Well, that is incoming Senate Judiciary Chairman Lindsey Graham just a short time ago after meeting with Attorney General nominee William Barr and after news that Rod Rosenstein is leaving his post as Deputy Attorney General in the coming weeks. Let's bring in Senator James Lankford, member of the Senate Intel Committee and Homeland Security Committee. Senator, thank you for being here. And all of this, of course, ahead of the confirmation hearing for William Barr next week. Graham went on to say after that, when asked, are you committed to making sure Mr. Mueller can finish his job? He said yes. Wanted to first get your response since we just heard that a few moments ago.
Yeah, none of those are surprises. We need to get Mueller to be able to get to the end of his investigation. The concern from the beginning is that it just drags on and on and on without an end. He needs to be able to finish his work, be able to conclude it, be able to put out his report. It is a prosecutor's report, so it'll be one side of the story. And as we've seen in other cases, he'll bring out his side of the story. Then we'll get the rest of the story from the president's team to be able to respond to that, and then to be able to make decisions on it from there. But yeah, let's get it to an end. Let's actually have this thing finished and to be able to get the information out to the American people.
Are you getting the sense that it is nearing the end?
Impossible to be able to tell. Everyone's trying to second guess that and try to figure out. He's got these prosecutions, this sentencing, different individuals that are going through the process that typically looks like that's an ending point, but no one really knows at this point what that exact ending is. As you remember, when it was go back to Iran-Contra, the special counsel there stretched it out 6 years on President Reagan. President Reagan was out of office and the special counsel was still doing his work. So again, there is no clear ending point. They set the date on that.
Senator Lankford, the president will be heading to Capitol Hill next hour. He's going to be attending this Senate Republican policy luncheon, speaking with lawmakers. Last night, Senator Lindsey Graham, you heard a bit from him there earlier, but last night he told our own Sean Hannity that Republicans deserve to be punished if they give in on border security. Listen.
The only way we lose is to give in. If we'll stand firm, put deals on the table that make sense, we will win this on behalf of the American people. But if we undercut the president, that's the end of his presidency and the end of our party, and we deserve to be punished if we give in now.
Senator, where do you stand on this issue this morning?
Of all things Republicans should stand for, individual liberty and freedom and national security should be right at the top of our list. And if Republicans walk away and say we really don't care about national security anymore, the American people that are Republicans and conservatives all over the country and people that just want safe neighborhoods and communities should fear for that and should push back on us. So this should be a key issue for us to be able to talk about national security. Now, clearly, not everyone that's coming in immigration, even illegal immigration, is coming to do harm. That's a minority, a very small group of people, but we should know who is coming across our border. And if we don't know who they are, we should know who they are. So yes, this should be an issue that we should continue to be able to push back on.
Is there any room for compromise? Is there
Sure
any?
There is.
Where?
Sure there is. Yeah, last December, there was a wide agreement in the Senate to be able to work on both new fencing, repair some old fencing, land ports of entry that really need to be redone. There's some common ground area there that should be there that should have been resolved back in December, but Senator Schumer stopped negotiating 10 days before we could have gotten to the end when he said, I don't want to do any more negotiations until Nancy Pelosi is in the chair as the speaker. So this should have been resolved the 23rd of December. I had Democrats that I was negotiating with that we had a good common ground. I think the White House was in a good position. Well, when Senator Schumer, starting the 23rd, 24th of December, said, I'm going to no longer respond to any offers and I'm going to wait on Nancy Pelosi to take the lead, he literally gave away leadership from the Senate to the House and said, we're going to wait on it. Now we have this. So this could have been resolved for federal workers a very long time ago because there is common ground on national security issues.
Well, Tom Perez was on this program earlier. He said Democrats in the House passed a bill. Speaker Pelosi, there were a number of bills and what they have in common in the Senate took them up and passed them something like 92-6 in December. I just wonder what your response is to Democrats this morning. You heard Nancy and Chuck last night respond to the president's address. What is your message back to them?
So it's very interesting. They've taken up some bills and they said, here's a bill that's an appropriation bill. For instance, we won't pass anything on border security, but we will pass something that allows abortion or uses federal funds for abortion overseas. Will the Senate then go past that? That's what they're sending back to us. So they keep saying these are clean bills with bipartisan support. Really what they are not bills that are ready for prime time. They're trying to say to the president, we'll do several things to be able to reopen the government, but we won't do border security. This should not be a surprise. The president last summer said he's not going to vote for any bill on appropriations that doesn't include border security, and suddenly Democrats act like they're shocked about that he suddenly wants border security. He's talked about it for months. It's time to be able to get this. There is common ground. There are Democrats that want to do border security. Let's work with those Democrats that want to do border security. Let's get something passed, and then let's get this finished and get the government reopened again.
Senator James Lankford, great to get your take on things this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.